Hey guys, welcome back to yet another Stardew Valley video. In this video, I'll be tackling winter of year 1. Honestly, this has to have been one of the most productive winters I've ever had on any Stardew Valley save. This video was honestly fun to make though, and to be honest, I was kinda waiting for Christmas time to upload this purely for the winter themes, despite it not snowing where I live. However, before we begin, let me give you a quick word from my sponsor, my Patreon. So what's so special about my Patreon? Well, there's a whole bunch of cool and unique benefits you get, on top of just helping me fund the Something SMP's maintenance costs and future videos. There are currently 2 tiers, Berry Supporter Tier 1 and Berry Supporter Tier 2. Both tiers offer a week of early access to new videos, a shout out within the outro of these videos, the VIP role on my Twitch channel, and an exclusive role on my Discord server that gives you access to a private Patreon supported chat room and a private VC. You can get all of that by just subscribing to Tier 1 for $2 AUD a month. But that's not all, as Tier 2 offers even more benefits than the previously mentioned benefits. Yep, that's right. For just $4 AUD a month, you can subscribe to Tier 2, where you gain the extra benefits of access to Patreon exclusive videos, 20 new Patreon exclusive emotes, digital updates on main channel videos, and the ability to request games for me to play at any time, which I can make into a main channel video or a Twitch stream. On top of all of this, I also sometimes have special offers from time to time that offer new exclusive benefits such as free emotes or discounts. If you don't want to subscribe to my Patreon, you should still check out my page sometimes, as I occasionally post free public video updates there. Anyways, enough of the usual self-promotion. Let's move on to winter of year 1, shall we? For day 1, I first went out fishing, but I caught nothing good, so I decided to look around for some winter forageables where I found a crocus and judged the villagers' new winter outfits. Oh, you got a nice little outfit on. That's not. Oh, there's Pam. Has she got like a sweater thing on going? Oh, it's a new vest thing. Okay. Oh, I do not like that outfit. Okay. It's just the bright yellow gives it off. Makes it look not the best. I then returned to my farm and sold some stuff before checking on my chickens and my mushroom cave. Later in the day I went to bed and earned myself 6,700 gold. I had neutral luck on day 2, so I petted Sam before checking my chickens and selling some items. Later I looked for a crystal fruit since it was the last forageable I needed, however I couldn't find any. I then dropped off some items at the community center before heading to the desert, where I got myself some cactus fruits, coconuts, a sandfish, and the galaxy sword. While there, I also unlocked the skull cavern and went inside. I reached floor 16 before warping home and passing out, earning 700 gold. Moving into day 3, I had good luck, so I collected and sold some pickled pickles before petting Sam. Afterwards, I went to the community center and dropped off some items before checking the bins and more of the new villager outfits. Oh, he has a little beanie now. Okay. I thought he had like a hoodie or something. Alright. Interesting. I mean, I still don't like Shane, but that's interesting, I guess. I then went to the skull cavern to hunt down some ectoplasm, but I was unsuccessful even after reaching floor 26. So I decided to just head home to smelt some ores and check on my chickens before going to bed and earning 1,100 gold. On day 4 I had neutral luck, but I got a whopping 10,000 gold from the mysterious cube. So I smelled some more ores, petted Sam, and checked on my chickens. Later on I donated some items to the museum and cracked open some geodes before giving Clint my pickaxe to upgrade it to gold. I then went to the community center and donated some items before I went home and sold some items. After that I went to the beach and brought a bunch of bait from Willie's shop before going fishing, unfortunately finding nothing good except for a crystal fruit in the Cindersap forest. So I decided to hunt down the glacier fish like an idiot, which I obviously failed to catch. So I went hunting for regular fish, which I was also failing at. I then decided to just go home to plant some water and powder melon seeds before heading to bed, earning 1,300 gold. For day 5, I had neutral luck, so I went to the community centre and completed both the field research and winter foraging bundles. I then went fishing and found a link cod before buying an iridium rod with some trap bobbers at Willie's shop. Afterwards, I continued to fish and found myself a sturgeon, which I donated to the community centre, and which also finished the lake fishing bundle before I decided to check the bins. Later in the day, I also tried to catch the glacier fish again, which I obviously failed at again. It honestly made me remember why I despised fishing so much with such a burning passion. Anyways, I returned to my farm, checked on my chickens, smelted some ores, sold some items, pet Sam, and went to bed, earning 6,300 gold. On to day 6, my pickaxe was ready to be collected, but I had bad luck. So I smelted some ores and petted Sam before checking the bins around town where I got the garbage hat before heading to Clint's, getting my pickaxe and upgrading my bin to steel. Afterwards, I donated some items, placed down some crab pots, and completed Emily's quest for some amethyst. Later on, I went to the mines to try and get some ectoplasm from a ghost, but I was unsuccessful. So I tried to catch a lava eel, which I also failed at. I then just decided to go back to my farm, sell some items, and go to bed. 1 week into winter, I had good luck, and I learnt to make plum pudding. So I decided to go outside, only to find Pierre asking me to buy more seeds from his shop because, let's be real, I'm the only person in this town who's preventing him from going bankrupt. I then went home to pet Sam and smelt some ores before heading to the mines to try and get some ectoplasm on the last day of the quest. I was once again unsuccessful. So I went to the skull cavern to try my luck there, but that didn't help. However, I got a rabbit's foot and I reached floor 36 before it hit 2 AM, where I also reached level 8 combat. Moving into day 8, I had neutral luck, so I smelted some ores and accepted the Juicy Bugs quest before attending the Festival of Ice. At the festival, I won the fishing minigame, but nothing else really happened, so I just went to bed. For day 9, my copper trash can was ready, so I smelted some ores before heading into town, where I checked the bins and donated some items to the museum. Finally, I went to Clint's and grabbed my new trash can before processing some geodes and giving Clint my watering can to upgrade it. I then went to Willie's shop and brought myself some bait to try and fish the glacier fish once again. Honestly, while fishing for the still little freaking fish, I started to regret my life choices of ever starting this playthrough purely because of this cursed little fish. Honestly, after trying to catch this fish for so long, I proceeded to reasonably crash out over the small little pixel fish in the chill farming simulator. Anyways, I decided to just clear some area around my farm before bringing some maple syrup to the woods where I met a talking bear. After that, I went home and planted some powder melons before petting Sam and heading to bed, earning a measly 130 gold. On day 10, I had neutral luck again, so I went to the community centre to drop off some items before heading to the mines to hunt for some bug meat. I managed to find a whole 44 of them, on top of another prismatic shard, before I went to bed and reached level 8 mining. Moving into day 11, I smelted some ores, harvested my powder melons, and planted more plants. I then sold some items before checking the bins and donating some items to the museum. Once I donated said items, I headed to Clint's to collect my copper watering can and process some geodes. Later in the day I also went to the mines to hunt for some more bug meat, and I managed to find a whole 47 of them before it hit 2 AM. And I earned 750 gold. Day 12 was unfortunately another bad luck day. However, when I opened the door, I was surprised to find Gunther, who gave me a key to the sewers. After that, I went to the beach and participated in the first day of Squidfest. I managed to catch 8 squids before returning home to pet Sam and go to bed, where I reached level 7 fishing. On to day 13, it was yet another neutral luck day. So I went to the community centre to donate some items before heading to the mines to hunt down the final 9 bug meats that I needed. Well, in the mines, however, I managed to get the final bug meats I needed, but I also managed to get the final dwarf scroll I needed, on top of killing 8 red slimes for a different quest. Afterwards, I left the mines and donated the scroll to the museum before I completed Lewis's quest and attended Squidfest, which I also completed the bug meat quest at the same time. I managed to catch 8 squids at Squidfest before it hit 2 AM. Going into day 14, I finally had good luck, so I learnt to make a chocolate cake before smelting some ores and heading out to the community centre again, where I completed the crab pot bundle. I then placed down some crab pots before heading to Lewis's to gamble. Later, I processed some geodes and gave Clint my hoe to upgrade it, before selling some items and learning how to make a quality bobber. Since I was near the beach anyways, I also brought some bait and trap bobbers from Willie before trying to catch the glacier fish. I actually managed to catch the bastard fish, and I had a reasonable reaction to it. Yes, I got this little bitch of a fucking fish. Thank fuck. Oh my god, this little bitch fish. I'm going to eat him if it wasn't for the fact that he's worthless. This little peasant fish. That's deserved. That's deserved, honestly. A little shit of a fish. Oh, I want to burn and eat that fish so much, but that little shit is somewhat worth something. Anyways, after my success, I opened the sewers and tried to catch a mutant carp, which I actually got on my first try. I also tried to go for another legendary fish that day, but I couldn't find him. I assume it's the season. So I gave up and went to the Adventurers Guild for some rewards, before petting Sam and heading to bed, earning 800 gold. I had bad luck for day 15, so I checked on the chickens and realised that I was out of hay. So I went to the wizards to complete one of his quests, before checking the bins and accepting Robin's quest to collect 1,000 wood. Because of this quest, I decided to chop down some trees, getting myself 428 wood, before attending the night market. While at the night market, I brought a red cabbage, large goat milk, and a large egg, before attending the mermaids show and getting a pearl. I donated my recently brought items to the community centre before heading to bed and reaching level 6 foraging. On day 16, I had good luck, and my copper hoe was ready. So, I checked on my chickens before chopping down some trees. I managed to chop down 572 wood before going to gamble at Lewis's and donating some items to the community centre just before the night market started. Once at the night markets, there was honestly nothing good being sold, so I just left and went to bed, earning 950 gold. Moving into day 17, I had good luck again. So I harvested and planted crops before checking the bins around town and donating some items to the museum. Afterwards, I got my copper hoe from Quint, processed some geodes, and gave Clint an iron bar for a quest before heading to the skull cavern for some items. I managed to reach floor 3 before dying and losing pretty much nothing, just as the night market was about to start. Once at the night market, I brought some wheat and sunflower seeds before returning home and going to bed. Going into day 18, I had neutral luck, so I just harvested, sold, and planted some crops before heading out to the Skull Cavern. I reached floor 37 before deciding to warp home to sell some items, pet Sam, and head to bed, where I earned 950 gold. Day 19 was yet another bad luck day. However, despite that, I decided to go to the Skull Cavern again, where I reached floor 39 before it hit 2 AM. During the night, however, I also reached level 9 combat and earned myself 5,050 gold. I had good luck for day 20, so I checked the bins and got myself a special charm before heading to Clint's. Once there, I completed his quest and processed some geodes before donating some items to the museum. Later in the day, I went fishing, but I didn't find anything good, so I just decided to turn home. When I got home, I sold some items, pet Sam, and went to bed, earning 2,750 gold. 3 weeks into winter, I had yet another good luck day, as I learnt to make pumpkin pie. I then went to Robin's to give a quest item and upgrade my coop. Afterwards, I checked the bins around town before buying some bait and treasure bobbers from Willie's shop. Once I left Willie's shop, I immediately went fishing for items that could be donated to the museum. However, amidst my fishing, I realised the trader was in town. So I brought an apricot for one of her bundles before continuing to fish. I managed to find a rare disc, a dried starfish, and somehow 2 amphibian fossils from the same chest for some reason. Before it hit 2 AM, I reached level 8 fishing. Moving into day 22, I went to the community centre to donate some items before checking the bins and accepting the community cleanup quest. I then donated some items to the museum and processed some geodes before remembering that Penny was my secret Santa for this year. Later in the day, I decided to fish for some trash while also unsuccessfully trying to catch a lava eel. Afterwards, I dropped off the trash at the train station before returning home to sell some items and head to bed, earning 900 gold. On day 23, I had good luck, and I learnt to make fiber seeds. So I checked the bins around town before heading to Lewis's to gamble, and then going on to fish. Later, I went home, planted a sapling I got from gambling, petted Sam, checked on my mushroom cave, and cleaned up some of the area on my farm. I then sold some items and went to bed, earning 1,900 gold. For day 24, I had neutral luck, so I harvested my crops before checking the bins and heading to Marnie's, where I brought hay, which I've been trying to buy since day 15. Anyways, I then checked on the chickens before selling some items and heading to the Skull Cavern. I managed to reach floor 23 before it hit 2 AM, where I earned 150 gold. Going into day 25, it was the Feast of the Winter Star, but I had bad luck for the day. So I went outside, only to be greeted by Emily at my door, who gave me access to a sewing machine. Afterwards, I smelted some ores, harvested some crops, and completed the first task for the mysterious queue. I then went to the mines to find a gift for Penny, but I was unfortunately unsuccessful, so I just attended the event. Once at the festival, I gave Penny a rabbit's foot, which she hated, which I thought was a bit odd since aren't rabbit's foots supposed to be universal light for villagers? Then again, I could be wrong on that. I mean, after all, I'm not allowed to look at the wiki whatsoever outside of gathering images for thumbnails, so who's to say? Anyways, later in the festival, Pam gave me a Nautilus shell, so I went home, before immediately walking back into town to donate some items to the community centre. I then went back home to sell some items, smelt some ores, pet Sam, and head to bed, where I earned a pitiful 80 gold. Day 26 didn't really have that much of note that happened, but it was a good luck day. So I smelted some ores and checked on my chickens before heading to Clint's to process some geodes, which I essentially immediately donated to the museum. I then went to the skull cavern again where I reached floor 78 before it hit 2 AM and I reached level 9 mining. Moving into day 27, I had bad luck, so I checked on my chickens before heading out to the mines for some materials. I managed to get quite a lot of materials before I left to process some geodes and donate some items to the museum. Later on, I checked the bins around town before going fishing and giving Gus an albacore for a quest. I then just returned home and went to bed. For the final day of winter, I first checked on my chickens before donating some items to the museum and checking the bins around town. I then went home to find that I had bad luck for the day, so I learnt to make cranberry candy before heading out to the skull cavern for some unknown reason. I managed to reach floor 10 before I left to buy some warp totems and headed back to Pelican Town. Once home, I tried to unlock some secret notes, such as Secret Note 21, but it didn't really work out too well, so I just checked the bins. I missed it early in the day before trying to do some of the other secret note stuff and later just going to bed just before it hit 2 AM. And just like that, we're now back in spring. Honestly, this winter was a lot less of a slog than usual winters, and we managed to get quite a lot done than what I was expecting. I can only expect that next spring will be even more productive. I might even get the greenhouse or at least something unlocked by next spring. I expect that we may even get ducks or rabbits by the end of spring, but we'll just have to see. This video was honestly very fun to make, and I can't wait for the next video. But this is going to be it from me for now, so I'll see you all next time in spring of year 2. Bye bye.